One of the keys to effective discipleship is recruiting. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was this guy named Pete, a professional fisherman, and he'd been out fishing since midnight and returned to shore tired and frustrated and empty-handed, no fish. He and his brother Andy had been fishing out in the wee hours, had nothing to show to their troubles. Like an athlete, been competing for months. He'd been out all night in a big race and finished last, so he was super tired and exasperated. Have you ever experienced that, an all-nighter, studying, prepping for a big project, presentation that didn't pan out? You know how it feels. You're frustrated and tired and exasperated. Last thing you wanted to do was engage in some new task. Pete, too, was ready to go to bed, go home, sleep it off, try again tomorrow. Then something happened that would forever change Pete's life, and through him, the lives of many others. As Pete and his friends rowed back to shore to beach, they were astounded by what they saw. A crowd of hundreds of people were gathered around listening to one man talk. What were they so interested in? They got closer, and then the man turned to them. And the leader that was speaking said to Pete, "Hey, Pete, I'd like to get in your boat, row a few yards out from the lake because the crowd's pressing up against me and I need a little bit of space." Pete had only seconds to respond. He felt the eyes of the crowd upon him, and they revered this guy, and potential customers of his really liked this guy that would buy his fish. So he said, yeah, he couldn't say no. So this wise leader talked a little bit more and then finished and came back to shore, and Pete was ready to go home again. He was super tired. Pete and Andy, they were just busying themselves cleaning their fishing nets and gear and stuff. And then the leader turned to Pete and said, "How'd it go today?" And Pete said, "We caught nothing. We were searching for fish throughout the whole lake, the whole night, and we had nothing." And the wise leader said to Pete, "Hey, why don't you try fishing out in the deep water over there?" And Pete was stunned. He was a professional fisherman, just finished all the best spots he knew, and this teacher guy was telling him to go out in the deep water. Who was this guy? What was he thinking, Pete thought? We just spent a half an hour cleaning our nets. Now we got to go out again. Pete vented his emotion and said, "Listen, we've been out all night, but just because you're saying it, I'll do it." And he pretty much was doing it because of, the customers and the potential crowd and his fear of losing sales. So he went out and said to the guys, "Let's get this over." So he rowed way out in the deep water in the lake, and there's usually not any fish in the deep water, he's just thinking, because there's a lot of vegetation out there. But he set his nets out, let them gently go down in the water, and amazingly, he caught more fish than his entire boat could contain. He had to motion for his other partners to come over to help them get this massive net of fish into shore even. And it was amazing. So Pete just said, "Wow, I can't believe this. This guy is phenomenal. I really want to follow him." And that's the first lesson in discipleship. What did you learn from it?